to 7:29 going.
Ready?
We're now live. It's not quite 7:30 yet, so.
All set? Look. We're good.
Yes.
Okay. The meeting will come to order. Welcome to the Plan Commission meeting for April 15th, Village of Skokie. Before we begin, I'd like to read this little notice. Until further notice, meetings of the Skokie Plan Commission will be held electronically with a majority of the members participating via remote access in order to comply with the State of Illinois Gubernatorial Disaster Proclamation. Members of the public who wish to comment as to an item on the published agenda must submit their statements or questions in writing to Steve Marciani at steve.marciani@skokie.org. And all properly submitted statements or questions will be presented and read during the relevant portion of the meeting. Written comments may be submitted by email to citizenscomments, that's one word, at skokie.org, or by mail to the Village of Skokie, attention Matt Brandmeier, ex officio Plan Commissioner. Address is 5127 Oakton Street, Skokie, Illinois, 60077, or via the Village's drop box no later than noon on the day of the meeting, located by the public entryway to the Village Hall. Okay, again, welcome everybody. First order of business, I will call the roll. Commissioner Mitchell, can you unmute everybody?
Yeah, please unmute yourself.
Just say present when I call your name. Commissioner Mitchell. Is he muted?
I'm present.
There
Okay,
you go.
thank you. Commissioner Quain.
Present.
Commissioner Lakhani.
Present.
Thank you. Commissioner Robinson.
Present. Thank you.
Commissioner Franklin.
Present.
Commissioner Pearslovan.
Present, thank you.
Commissioner Berman.
Here.
Commissioner Matei.
Present.
And I am here. So we are all present. We do have a quorum. Okay. First order of business is to approve the minutes from the last meeting. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you. And do I have a second?
Second.
Any comments or additions to the minutes? None? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? The minutes have been approved. Let's see. First case tonight is case 21-09P, zoning map amendment at 99016 Grosse Point Road. Aron Wolkin, on behalf of Luigi Ragazio, is requesting a zoning map amendment to rezone 9016 Grosse Point Road, commonly known as 9008 and 9018 Grosse Point Road, from an M2 light industry to a B2 commercial. Is the petitioner here tonight?
Yes, sir.
Okay, would you give us your name for the record, please?
Yes, my name is Tim Hague, Hague, with Keystone Ventures and Keystone Planning and Design.
Okay,
And also participating is Luigi Randazzo, Randazzo,
Randazzo,
also-
thank you. Okay,
with our firm. And I believe we might be joined by Dr. Stein and Dina Stein of the Stein Center for Advanced Dentistry as well.
are they on this?
They're not on the.
They're not,
No.
they haven't signed in yet?
No.
Okay, gentlemen, would you kind of your location, raise your right hand and repeat after me? Actually, do you affirm that the testimony you give tonight is the whole truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I take that as the affirmative. Counselor McCarthy, is there notice and order?
Yes, Mr. Luke, Chairman, notice is proper and correct.
Okay, thank you. Gentlemen, want to present your case and tell us why you need a zoning map amendment?
Yes, thank you, Chairman Luke and Planning Commissioners. We represent a proposed redevelopment where the contract purchaser for the property located at 9016 Grosse Point Road. This is about a half-acre site that is currently occupied by residential uses for older single-family homes. What we're proposing here tonight and asking for your consideration, support, and recommendation on is a rezoning of this parcel from M2 light industrial to B2 commercial. What we'd like to do is redevelop the property with a newly constructed one-story commercial building of 4,700 square feet and accompany that with 30 off-street parking stalls. The property is located along Grosse Point Road, and it's bounded by Skokie Fire Station 18 and the Public Works Facility kind of to the north and to the west of the property. And then to the south, there's an access drive from Grosse Point Road to the Public Works Facility, and then a utility easement area and Grosse Point Office Center to the south and the remaining portion of the west. Across Grosse Point Road is the Grove Senior Living and Rehab Center. And along Grosse Point Road is some varying zoning districts representing commercial uses as well as residential uses. We feel that this is an appropriate zoning. We think it represents reconciling a non-conforming residential use that exists in the M2 light industrial zoning district presently, and will allow us to bring in a service employment use of the new dental clinic. We believe that this will represent significant capital investment within the community, allow an existing business, the Stein Center, to expand and grow within the community. They're an existing business that's now located in an office building up on Gulf Road. We think it'll help them provide better service to their clients within the community, produce more employment opportunities, and also contribute to a higher tax base for the property, contributing into the community. We think this is consistent with what's envisioned in the comprehensive plan. The land use map within the comprehensive plan identifies this as Sector B, Dempster West area, and it speaks to having commercial development and service employment uses within the district, so we do believe it's consistent with that. We also think that it helps achieve some of the goals and objectives spoken to in the land use sections of the comprehensive plan. So that's what we're here tonight to discuss, and happy to answer any questions or try to provide any additional information as needed.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Haig. Commissioners, are there any questions of the petitioner pertaining to this case? No questions, okay. Mr. Hagan, are you finished with your presentation? If so, I will ask the staff to give us a report.
Yep, Chairman. Thank you.
Yes, okay, thank you. All right, I believe, Steve, are you presenting the case? Steve Marciani?
He's right here.
There we go,
There
sorry.
we go.
Okay,
I have to read off my computer screen too, since I'm also remote, so I was flipping. Okay, Mr. Chairman, I would like to respectfully request that the full staff report for 2021-09P be submitted into the record as presented.
your request is granted.
So Mr. Haig really summed up pretty much all of it. The only thing is the history on this parcel. These homes were developed a pretty long time ago, but since the earliest zoning map that I have access to, which is 1946, the property was zoned Z light industry, or G light industry, and it was changed to M2 somewhere right before 1956. So the houses have been legal non-conforming this entire time. Moving it from a M zone to a B zone is consistent with the comprehensive plan designation of being employment or service use. This would be a service use going into this location. Staff has no objections to the petitioner's request, and we formally recommend that the parcel, which is 9016 Grosse Point Road, which I know is confusing because there's 4 houses on it. So all 4 of these houses are on a single lot, which is why the parcel has one address, even though one of the houses is also an address, but it is the property that all 4 houses are on, that they, a map be amended from M2 to B2.
Okay. Any questions of the staff as to the report? No? Okay.
I got a question, Commissioner.
Yes,
Paul.
yes, go ahead, Commissioner Quain.
Yeah, I'm just curious, the homes that are currently on the property is non-conforming, and now it's changing to probably a more sensible zoning from the M2 light. Are they informed of that? Is there any need to inform them? What's customary when a zoning change for land that you're living on?
So the tenants, the way the notice works is that everyone, all the taxpayers of record within 250 feet get notified, and anyone who is on the subject site. So they did get written notice. I did hear from one of the current residents. But yeah, so that's, they're all renters. So their landlord would be responsible for whatever happens moving forward with them.
Okay. And Matt, have we received any public comments on this case?
No public comments, Mr.
Okay,
Chairman.
thank you. Okay. Mr. Hague, do you have anything further to add to the case?
No, Commissioner.
Okay, all right. Fellow commissioners, at this time, open for a motion.
Motion to approve as presented.
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Matei. Thank you, Commissioner Mitchell. No further discussion. I'll call for the vote. Commissioner Mitchell?
Yes, and I.
Commissioner Quain?
Aye.
Commissioner Connie?
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Commissioner Franklin?
Aye.
Commissioner Pearce-Lovan?
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Berman?
Aye.
Commissioner Matei?
Aye.
And I'll vote aye. Mr. Hague, this case still has to go before the Board of Trustees for final approval. They meet on the first and third Monday of each month, and I'm sure you'll be notified when this case goes before them. And good luck with your project. And thank you for coming to Skokie.
Thank you very much, Chairman Luke, and we appreciate your time and consideration.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a good evening, gentlemen. Next case is case 2021-10P, zoning map amendment at 9925 Kedvale. Is the petitioner here?
Yes, we are.
I'm sure. Oh, the village is, Steve, you gonna present this too?
I am, yeah. So
Okay.
this is just a follow-up to the cases that we had regarding Schaefer's and their event space. And we realized that once the alley gets vacated and the zoning would also need to be changed for that portion that is currently zoned residential. The ordinance states that the property or the zoning boundaries go down the center lines of rights of way. So when we vacate the alley, if in this particular case, the whole alley is going to the 9965, which is the commercial parcel, and it also needs to be rezoned to be consistent with the rest of the site. So this is just a kind of a technical zoning map amendment due to prior actions.
Did you have to renotice this?
Say again?
Did you have to renotice this case?
We already did, yes. We noticed it ourselves.
Okay. And Council, I presume that notice is proper in order?
That's correct, Mr. Chairman. Notice is proper.
Thank you. Commissioners, do you have any questions about this zoning map change? Questions?
Mr. Chairman, I just would like to ask that this report be submitted into the record as presented.
Oh, request is granted.
Thank you.
Okay, commissioners, any questions? None? Okay, then I'm open for a motion on case 2021-10P, zoning map amendment at 9925 Kedvale.
So moved as presented.
Who's that?
I'll second it.
Dr. Robinson?
Oh, Commissioner Robinson, thank
Yes.
you. And Commissioner, was that Berman?
Yes, it was.
I believe so.
Thank you. Call for the vote. Commissioner Mitchell,
Aye.
Commissioner Quayne,
Aye.
Commissioner Lakani,
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson,
Aye.
Commissioner Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Pearslovan,
Aye.
Commissioner Berman,
Aye.
Commissioner Matei,
Aye.
and I'll vote aye. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Next case is case 2021-11P, special use permit at 3654 Tui Avenue, CH Retail Fund 1, Chicago, Tui Marketplace LLC on behalf of Chipotle Mexican Grill is requesting a special use permit for a limited service restaurant with a drive-through at 3654 Tui Avenue in a B2 commercial zoning district. And we have a related case, case 2021-12P, and this is a request for the drive-through. And is the petitioner here, please?
These two right here.
And would you give
We
us,
are, yep,
would you give us your name, please, for the record?
sure. Kristen, yep, Kristen Moan, M-O-A-N.
Okay. And is there anyone else with you tonight?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. I'm here on behalf of the landlord. My name is Dan Hanson, Hanson.
Okay. Okay, can I have both of you kind of raise your hand, and do you affirm that the testimony you give tonight is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you?
Yes,
Yep.
do.
Thank you. Counselor McCarthy, is there notice and order?
Mr. Chairman, notice is proper and correct.
Thank you, sir. Okay, who's gonna make the presentation? Is Ms. Mullen,
So-
are you making the presentation?
Yep, I can give a little background. We are the actual architect for Chipotle Mexican Grill,
Okay.
and we are here for a special use permit for the 3654 Tui, which is an existing M Burger, or I should say a vacant M Burger.
Yeah.
So we're here to get a special use permit for a pickup window on what would be the planned east side over there. And then
Yeah.
also,
Go ahead.
yep, and then also relief from to get the 3 signs that we are showing in our elevations on the differing sides. We are adding on about 300 square feet planned west. Yep, right there.
Okay, that's.
And that's pretty much it.
that's in
The
case 20
dining that's in the next one, everything is pretty consistent with what is there right now. We're just updating all of the relief and special use permits.
Okay. What are the hours of operation?
10:45 to 10:45 a.m. to 10 p.m. usually.
Okay. So you're not opening for breakfast?
No.
Okay. Is there any outdoor dining at this facility?
Yep, it's up in the upper left corner, right by the parking. So we're where we're adding on to the building is where the existing
Okay.
patio is.
Oh, I
So
see,
we're
okay.
just pushing the patio north a little bit.
Case 11P is.
Yeah, for the dining, okay.
Right, yep, right there.
Okay, very good.
I have a question, Paul.
Yes, Commissioner Quayne.
Yeah, could you elaborate further on how this online drive up, pick up, and go system will work?
Yep, absolutely.
Is it done other places, or is this a first attempt at this? And then secondly, do you anticipate or have you found any confusion over people seeing a drive-up window and thinking it's a drive-up, like a traditional drive-up system?
So I think, so yes, this is Chipotle's concept for a drive-through window. Everything has to be ordered online in their app. So, every once in a while you do get a car that comes through and they come up to the window and maybe haven't ordered yet. So what they'll do is they'll send them either up to one of those parking spots labeled 1 or 2. They can place their order and then get back in the queue line, but they do not order at the window. So everything, like I said, everything's done on the app. They've done some pretty extensive studies on how long cars actually sit in the drive-through, and I want to say it was around 15 to 30 seconds. They come in, give their name, grab their stuff, and they're on their way. If for some reason they have ordered already and their food is not ready, then they head up into one of those 1 or 2 spots. Their stacking is very minimal. At even some of their peak hours is running 5 to 6 cars max. But I think, Chipotle's customers, they're pretty aware of what's going on, and they tend to catch on very quickly on how it all works. So it's been a very successful venture for them.
And for the for the driver who's already ordered and the order is not ready, do they get back in the queue, or is it just delivered to them where they're parked?
It'll be delivered to where they're parked.
Okay, any other questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, Commissioner?
Just curious to know, big fan of Chipotle. Have not seen the drive-through experience, and wondering if this is one of the first in the area that has this option.
I do believe it is one in the first area. As their leases are coming up and or they're able to relocate some of their stores, I'm sure there's a site not far down the road. Then they're kind of getting this drive-up concept included into their newer leases.
Thank you.
I have a question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Commissioner Berman.
Yeah, I might as well get this in now because I'll ask anyway. I know I saw the trash receptacle requirements in the 4-hour policing requirement of the property for the parking lot. I don't recall when I read it that there was a requirement for trash receptacles at the exit of the drive-through. Is that in there?
I don't know that we have one in there, but we could certainly add one if it's required. I assume you mean because people are throwing stuff out of their window after the drive-through?
Right.
Yep.
It seems like everybody purges as they go through drive-through for some reason.
Yep. If that wasn't added, it can certainly be added.
So, Commissioner, do you want to
Okay, it is there under the number 7.
Yeah, it should be.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, let's move on to the staff report then. And Steve, who's going to present the case? Or Carrie, who's
I
going to
am
present?
not going to be presenting the case.
Oh, okay.
We have 2 other staff members that are going to be presenting the two final cases tonight.
Okay,
Chris Masser will be presenting the first case.
okay. Chris?
Mr. Chairman, I request the staff report be entered into the records as presented.
Your request is granted.
Thank you. A limited service restaurant with a drive-through is allowed with a special use permit in the B2 commercial district. The modifications to the site include approximately 300 square feet addition to the west side of the building. The parking requirement for the site is 21 spaces and 23 are provided, thus the parking requirement is met. Per the site plan and study, drive-through queue has a capacity of accommodating 14 vehicles, which is deemed adequate. It is anticipated that this design will not have the drive-through queue impede into internal on-site circulation. The signage criteria will comply with the Skokie sign code, subject to some items of relief. Although many of the criteria from the Village Code, Section 82-27 and Section 82-28 provide primary regulations pertaining to sign sizes, quantities, and etc. Relief is recommended from Village Codes 82-22B1A on the premise that the property faces parking lots with multiple tenants and the building's functional front entrance is on the north facade, requiring additional signage to identify property's use. The tower feature that can be seen on the east and west elevations is existing from the previous occupant. The attached plans remove one of the signs on the west elevation of the property. It should also be mentioned that the same sign relief was granted to the previous occupant. Staff further recommends that relief be granted from sections 82-22B1 of the Village Code to allow sign lettering to project above the physical dimensions of the canopy, and from section 82-28B1B of the Village Code to allow 3 signs not facing public street frontage and to allow the tower feature. The conditions of the special use permit are pretty standard. Prior to the hearing of this case before the Board of Trustees, the petitioner must update the date on the landscape plan. The petitioner shall develop and use the subject property in accordance with the site plan approval for this site, and waste receptacles shall be placed on the subject property for the use of customers, and the health department shall determine the size, type, and location of these units, including 1 waste receptacle near the drive-through exit and 1 receptacle at the restaurant entrance.
Okay, thank you. Any questions of the staff? That's the report. None? Okay. Steve, since I kind of combined both cases, why don't we have the second case present the second case?
Just one additional point on this. Since the reports were written, we found out that the landscaping plan was actually the same landscaping plan that was previously approved. They had just changed the base map. So they can't actually change the date on the landscaping plan because they didn't draw the landscaping plan.
Okay.
So we'll make those appropriate adjustments prior to the report to the Board of Trustees. I just want to put that into the record that it isn't necessary to do that.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, Chris, I forgot to tell you.
All right. Want to give the staff report for case 2021-12P then?
Hello, everybody. Chairman Luke, I respectfully request that the report get entered into records as presented.
Your request is granted.
So to start off, they did meet all of the standard condition requirements for outdoor dining, which is listed in section 11893. Customers dining outside would be protected by fencing, which would be utilized on the north and west ends of the dining area, protecting them from the drive-through. There will be reduced seating as compared to the hamburger due to the additional 336 feet that's going to be added on the west end. And so there will be 18 seats in total. Obviously, under the outdoor dining conditions, they'll only be allowed to be in operation from April 1st to October 31st. And then they must not block a public sidewalk, which they are not. And then as for outdoor audio levels, must be compliant with the village code, and as well as waste receptacles shall be placed on the subject property from the use of customers, and that the Health and Human Services Department shall determine the size, type, and location of these units, including the 1 waste receptacle in the outdoor dining area and 1 waste receptacle at the restaurant entrance. And then some comments from environmental health. They said provide garbage container within the exterior dining within the exterior dining area. And that is pretty much it for this case. Steve, feel free to fill in if I missed anything.
Okay. Thank you.
No additional comments.
Any questions or comments on case 2021-12P? The outdoor dining?
I'd like to make a comment.
Sure. Commissioner Quain?
I think these were the 2 best staff reports I've ever heard.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Tom.
Very good, very nice reports, gentlemen, thank you.
Yeah, I was just going to comment that Steve looks like a proud uncle. And a very nice job on the report. I appreciate it.
Very good. Okay, no questions, no further questions on the case? Matt, are there any public comments or questions on this case?
There's no public comments, Mr.
Okay,
Chairman.
thank you very much. All right, I'm going to ask for a motion on case 2021-11P, special use permit request at 3654 2 Avenue, which comprises of the drive-through for Chipotle restaurant. We have a motion?
I make a motion to accept the staff report as presented.
Thank you. Have a second?
A second.
Commissioner Matei, thank you. Call for the vote. Commissioner Mitchell?
Mr. Chairman, can somebody amend that we're striking the prior to condition?
Oh, that's right, I forgot, okay.
Thanks.
You want me to make a new motion, or?
No, do you agree with the staff on
Absolutely.
Berman?
I make the motion that we accept the report as presented with the change offered by staff.
Okay,
I'll second that.
okay, very good. Call for the vote. Commissioner Mitchell?
Aye.
Commissioner Quinn?
Aye.
Commissioner Connie?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Commissioner Franklin?
Aye.
Commissioner Pearce-Lovan?
Aye.
Commissioner Berman?
Aye.
Commissioner Matei?
Aye.
And I'll vote aye. Thank you. On case 2021-12P, special use permit also at 3654 Tui. This is for the outdoor dining. Do I have a motion?
Yes.
Commissioner Mitchell, thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Who is this, please? Who's that? Who is that?
Franklin.
Thank you, Commissioner Franklin. No further questions? Call for the vote. Commissioner Mitchell?
Aye.
Commissioner Quinn?
Aye.
Commissioner Lakani?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Commissioner Franklin?
Aye.
Commissioner Pearce-Lovan?
Aye.
Commissioner Berman? Jeff?
Aye. Sorry.
There was an aye?
There was an aye with a sorry. Got lost there for a minute.
Thank you. You get all choked up, I guess, huh?
I was.
Commissioner Matei? Commissioner Matei?
Aye.
Thank you. And I'll vote aye. Motion is approved. Ms. Mullen, these cases still have to go before the Board of Trustees for final approval, and I wish you luck with this case, and thank you for coming to Skokie.
Yep, thank you.
Okay.
Good
Have a
luck.
good evening.
Thank you.
Anything else before the commission? Nothing? I'd like to thank Commissioner Robinson and Commissioner Pearce-Lovan for their work on the Plan Commission, and I wish them good luck, because you'll need it when you become trustees. It was nice having you aboard, and we're gonna miss you. So good luck to both of you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
This meeting is adjourned.
Wait a second, Paul.
Yes, Commissioner Quinn.
I don't want to forget to thank trustee Karen Gray Keeler for being our exceptional liaison for the village board.
Thank you for
Absolutely.
Appreciate
bringing
it.
that out.
It's been a pleasure. I was looking at the screen and going, the only ones that were around when I started on the Plan Commission were Paul and George and Steve and Carrie. And one of our first big things we did was the Searle project. Things have changed a little since then.
That's right.
Okay, thank you. It's been a pleasure working with all of you.
Thank you, Karen.
Good luck to Keith and Allison.
Good luck to you. Say hello to Tom.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
If you also could flip the switch.